Okay, in this particular video, we will be just discussing very basics of Linux commands, and we will try to go through one or two advanced commands which might be quite important. Before we start, I just want to mention one particular thing. This particular Linux is running in a VirtualBox. So I have installed VirtualBox in my Windows system. I'm running with a Windows 10, and in that I have installed VirtualBox, and in VirtualBox I'm running my Ubuntu. So this is not a real Ubuntu, which is almost equivalent to a real Ubuntu, but yeah, to be very specific or to say it much before, this is a virtual environment or virtual Ubuntu. So we can have everything as we are having in a normal Ubuntu machine, not an issue, but yeah, sometimes one or two commands or one or two statements might not work as we expect from a real machine. For example, when I'm trying to do something related to networking or IP related, it might not work because naturally it's a virtual environment, and my real networks, my real IP addresses and everything is related to Windows. So yeah, I need to mention this first. As I have mentioned this, so let's get started with some basics commands. The first command which I want to discuss is the man command. Man. So yeah, I just directly don't want to start with this man. So first I'll write man. So when I write like this, it will show a lot of text for me. The text is very huge, and you can see like when I wrote the man command, man, it's an interface to the system reference manual. So it's kind of reference manual for me, and it will show what all the options I have. It will give me the descriptions and a lot and a lot and lot of informations. Literally a lot of informations it will give me. And at the end you can see it's a manual page for man. I'm at line which line particularly. If I want help, I can press H, or if I want to quit, I can press Q. So as of now, I'll just press Q button. Okay, so let me explain this command again. So if I write man, basically I'm trying to open the reference manual. Reference manual of what? For example, I want reference manual of ls. Ls is another command which we will be seeing very shortly. If I want to open a reference manual of ls, I'll just write like this and it will open. The ls is list directory contents, so it will try to list the content inside a directory, and you can see the description lists information about the files, the current directory by default. So the current directory by default, and yeah, sort entries alphabetically. So if you don't provide any other parameters or kind of arguments to this, then yeah, it will sort in a alphabetical manner. And with our ls, we are having kind of subcommands, or you can just call them arguments. We are having minus a, or which is also like minus minus all. It will just, this you can use for like do not ignore entry starting with dot. So what is this dot and other things we will study, but yeah, as of now we are not actually studying ls, we are just studying the man command. So man is kind of manual. If you want manual for any particular command, you can use man command. As I've shown man for man, it was giving what actually man is, the manual. And if you just write man ls, it will talk about ls. So yeah, let's go to the next command. I hope this man command is clear, the manual related things. So let's go to the next command. The next command is ls, as we have already discussed. So let's actually try ls and see what output we get. And based on output, let's try to understand how it is working. Okay, fine. So as of now, we can see I am in the desktop. I am in my desktop, and I say ls. It is giving me practice. So let's check. Let me go to my desktop. I'm having home by default. That's ignored. You can ignore that. But in my desktop, you can see I'm having a practice folder. By default, I'm not by default, I have created that, but yeah, you can, according to video, you can assume that yeah, this was much before. Inside this practice, I might have some data. I'm having this, but in our terminal, it didn't display that. It just displays the folder. It just displayed me a folder. So yeah, when I type ls, it will show me the folders in that current working directory. So let's try to enter to the, let's go into the practice folder. So for going, I'll use cd command, but yeah, no need to worry about this. We will discuss that little later. Okay, now I'm into the practice folder. You can see that here. I'm inside desktop, and inside desktop I'm into the practice folder. And let me run ls command over here again. You can see I'm having bin, include, library and other folders. And let's just confirm back. In home I'm having desktop, in desktop I'm having the practice, in practice I'm having all the same folders. So we can understand here that whenever I'm using the ls command, it's just listing the storage, or you can just consider it's just listing the directories inside the current pwd. Pwd means present working directory. To remember it in a very short manner, you can just consider it. This might not be the real full form for this. L is list storage. So wherever you are, the storage is just listing that from the current pwd or the current present working directory. So yeah, I might use one or two uh, like kind of short forms like pwd or cd, these kind of things. Just try to remember them and just try to remember the full form for that. As of now, pwd stands for present working directory. So yeah, let's check pwd. If I just write pwd, the present working directory, it will show me my present working directory. As of now, in my home I'm having the user code, that's me. And in code I'm having the desktop. We can understand that in desktop I'm having practice. So currently I'm in the practice folder. You can just confirm it over here also. So let me go back. For going back, I'll use cd dot dot. No need to worry about cd. We will discuss it little later. Again I will type pwd, and you can see now the difference. Initially I was in the practice folder, so I was getting the practice also. Now I came back one step back, and if I use pwd, now my current present working directory is over here. I'm in the desktop. You can cross verify it here also. I hope the basic commands ls is clear and pwd is clear. We have seen the cd command, but we have not yet discussed, so let's discuss that. It's very short, and let's try to discuss that in as soon as possible. Okay, we are having cd. Cd stands for change directory. Cd changes stands for change directory. So basically what it does is, as of now I'm in the desktop directory. Every folder or everything, like kind of everything, you can consider it as a directory, every folders. As of now I am in desktop directory, and I want to enter to the practice directory, practice folder. I want to go to the practice folder. I want to change my directory. So you can just use the cd command, and as I'm already into the desktop, I can directly write practice, and I'm into the practice. So to come back, we are having a command called cd and dot dot. This dot dot stands for one step back. Okay, what I'll do, I'll go another step back. Now you can see I'm exiting the desktop also. By default, I was in the desktop. If I just close this, let me close this also. I'll open the terminal again. Let me zoom it for you. By default I'm getting into the desktop because I opened it from the desktop. That's why I was getting desktop. But yeah, let me go back and check what's the things, like one step back at the desktop level. Okay, fine. You can see lot of things are being stored. Data1.py, which I might have created long back. I'm having the desktop because yeah, naturally we came one step back from the desktop, so naturally desktop should be over there. We are having music, pictures normally as we are having in the windows. I'm having some ROS files, ROS2 files, so many other things. And yeah, just try to remember the color coding. There are few files white, there are few folders with this particular color, and there are few files. You can just, I'm calling them files because I'm able to see them extensions. I'm able to see their extensions. Here also I'm able to see their extensions. So these are also files. And as I'm not able to see any extensions over here, so I'm just calling them folder. And I know desktop is kind of a folder. And if something is having extension, I know it's a file. But yeah, even if there's a file, data1.py and new.py, the color is little changed. So what's that meaning? We will see in some other commands. Like there's a command called chmod. We will discuss that over there. But yeah, just try to understand. Folders are in this color, If something is a file, then it is in this color, or it might be in this color. So yeah, I have used CD and I have came one step back, and when I listed the storage, I am having so many things. So let's again go back to the desktop. For going back to the desktop, what I can do, change directory. I want to go to the desktop. I hope till here it's clear. But yeah, if I enter over here, if I press enter button, I'll get an error. That's for sure, because I want to go to the desktop. But if I just write like this, I'll get an error because it says no such file or directory. Because one small mistake what I've done over here is I need to write capital D. You can see it's capital D written over here. I need to write it in a capital. So let me write desktop, and yeah, if I do like this, I'm into the desktop without any worries and no problem at all. So yeah, let me again come back. Again I'm back, and if you just list it, you can see that I'm again back at the very root level. So now what I'll do, again I'll use the cd command. Again I will type desktop very properly, and I'm having an slash kind of thing, and I'll write prs, I'll write practice, cd, change directory. I'm trying to enter into the desktop. I'm not actually entering into the desktop. There's a file in desktop called practice, the folder named practice. I want to enter into that. So if I just do like this, from the very root user, I'm directly entering into practice folder. If I just list its content, you can see we are getting the contents of our practice folder. So basically what I want to show over here is I can actually traverse. So I have traversed that and I have came here. So now how to go back? This is for going one step back. So if I do like this, what will happen? I'm directly coming two steps back. You can see these two, desktop and practice, it's gone. And again, I'm back at the root level. And I'm using the root level, don't get confused, because this might be user root, not the actual root. Few people might be coming from the Raspberry Pi related stuff. Their root user is different, and inside a root we can create multiple accounts. So yeah, it's quite confusing. It might be quite confusing at the moment, but yeah, uh, I'll assume that you are having only one account, and root and the primary user both are same. So I'll be referring it to as root. Fine. I guess we can go to the next command now. Okay, fine. Before going to the next command, better like I'll again open the man command and I'll use ls command. And if you see here, it had given me minus a. I just want to try to use this particular one thing, minus a. You can try other things, but yeah, I just want to use this minus a as of now. So let me quit. So what I'll do, minus, okay, let me try ls first. You are getting this, no worries. Let me write it again. I'll use ls minus n now. You can see so many stuffs. There's a dot, this dot, there is bash history, logout, dash rc, which is another most important file, only for few people who might have experience with ROS. They might have actually used this to do some sourcing and other things, to give some alias and a lot of other things. But yeah, this bash rc is kind of important. Few people who are coming from Raspberry Pi stuff, who have made their automations, they might be familiar with this particular folder .config. Inside that we need to create an auto start file. That's very different. We will discuss when we will be discussing the Raspberry Pi part. You can see a lot of files are there with this dot. This dot files or the folders. So yeah, I need to stress on this. They are folders because I'm not able to see extensions. So yeah, I might just use the words files and folders together because in the flow. But yeah, just remember, if the extension is not there, they are folders. So these folders with this dot, they are hidden folders. By default, they are hidden. If you want to see, you need to use ls minus a. Then only you will get these all hidden folders. And what's the purpose of these hidden folders? Lot of different purposes are there, and according to different things. For example, bash rc is having its own purpose, this config is having its own purpose, maybe in ubuntu it's having different purpose, and in raspberry pi we are having different purpose. I'm using the word maybe. And naturally, people who have installed VS Code, there might be something like .vs code, like here, which stores extinctions, which stores some data related to VS Code, which stores your preferences and lot more stuff. But yeah, by default, these dot files or the dot folders are kind of hidden folders which you won't see directly. For example, let me just go to my home, and yeah, you can see desktop, this music, our data, other stuffs. But yeah, you are not able to see those all dot related folders. You can see here there's no dot related folders over here. But yeah, in terminal you can directly see by just typing this command ls -a. I hope till here it might be clear. So let's try one more stuff. Let me just clear everything. For clearing I can use a command called clear. It will clear everything. Otherwise, let me just type something random, and if I want to clear something, I'll press Ctrl and L. Ctrl and L. If I just press this, everything would be vanished. So yeah, I'll try ls. It's working. ls -a. We have tried this already. We know that it will list the hidden folders also. Let me add an extra L over here. If I write like this, you can see again so many stuffs it's giving. Majority of the stuffs, everything is same. Again, we are getting that dot. We are having this bash rc. We are having our config file. I mean the folder. We are having our files also. Our normal desktop folder, documents folder. Everything is same. But yeah, you can see lot of information is being provided over here. The read write permissions the user is having, some code, the access given, the secondary access. See, by default it's code because it's the user, and sometimes it is showing root. That's why I'm stressing on this. As of now, don't worry what is root, what is the user. As of now, just consider both to be same. The file size and when it is created, when it was created. And how to read this dr wx r minus xr minus x, this we will understand but a little later. These are called permissions, and we will actually divide them by 3 units. This drw is 1 unit, xr this dash is another unit, and this we can consider to be another unit. We will divide them by 333, and we will consider them for the root users, group using, and the particular user itself. But yeah, how to read it properly, and this complete thing, how to read it properly, that we will consider a little later. But yeah, as of now, let's just focus on the very basics itself. So let me clear everything. So the next command which we will be discussing is something related to touch. And I mean the touch, it's nothing related to sensors, nothing complicated. I will explain why we use touch, but let me just go to the desktop folder because there's very less files over here. There's less folders inside the desktop, so it will be easy for you to understand. By default, I'll be having this practice as a folder. No need to worry about that, but yeah, let's understand touch command. So before I start, let me actually open the manual of touch. Okay, so changes file stamps. I hope you can understand the word timestamp. It's the kind of time related stuff, like very accurate thing. Let's try to understand the description of that. Update the access and modification time of each file to the current time. Okay, something pretty good. There's a lot of kind of arguments, or you can call as a sub commands. -a, change only the access time. -c, do not create any files. -d, see, so many stuffs are there. But yeah, let's ignore everything, and I will show you one proper use of this touch command. I'll write touch, and let me write something called xyz dot txt. As we know, touch was used to kind of modify the time related stuff, but as this file xyz was not existing, it will create that file first in this directory in desktop. it will create that file and it will modify the time. But yeah, naturally we don't need the time as of now. I just want to know whether that folder or that particular file is created or not. For creating folder we are having some different commands, but for creating the files, something with extensions, whether it's working or not. So let me print the storage and you can see xyz.txt is available. So let me just cross verify from the desktop. Let me close this and you can see our xyz file is over here. And let me try to open this and check what's in this. Nothing, because we have created it just now. Let's close without saving. I don't want to save anything. Let me open its properties and you can see accessed, modified, created, everything is same. We can understand that because we have just now created that. Permissions, you can just go through this, nothing much open with. Naturally we need to open it with the text editor. So yeah, using just touch command, I was able to create a file inside a directory which is my current working directory. I mean the PWD. What if I want to create multiple files at the same time? So let's try that. I'll use touch, maybe XYZ. I need to create an XYZ. I'll write 1 comma 2 comma 3 dot. Okay, I need to write dot py. I'll be creating dot py. I hope it's done. So let's actually print them. ls, and you can see, ignore this xyz.txt because we had created it at the top. We had already created it. We need to focus on our dot py because we just now we created that. You can see xyz. I want to create 1, 2, 3. xyz1, xyz2, and xyz3, and at the end I had appended it with dot py. We are having dot py for everything. Let's cross verify from the desktop. You can see. Okay, so what if I want to create 100 files? Is it practically possible to write touch xyz, these open braces or the brackets, and keep on writing 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5? It might be practical, but yeah, not the good solution. So let's try something else. Let me clear everything. In fact, I will delete everything. I'll delete all these files. Okay, I have deleted that. Okay, let me delete this file also permanently, and let me get back to my terminal. I'll use the touch command. Okay, let me write xyz itself. What I'll do, 1 colon, I mean the dot dot 10, and after this I'll write dot py. Successfully executed, no issues. So let me just go and check. You can see all my 10 files are ready. xyz 10, 9, 8, 7, and so on. So let me try to print over here. Working correct. ls minus a, is there any hidden folders? Might be, like this dot and dot dot. I don't know about that, but yeah, there's nothing much hidden in this. You can see as it is. So let me try the other command, ls minus al. You can see the user permission or the whatever the permission that particular folder or the file is having. You can see by default everything is same for that. No root user is having access to that because we have created inside the desktop, and desktop belongs to a particular user. If there's another user, he will be having his own desktop. And you can see the file size. Okay, we don't need to worry about these top three things. We will just focus on this. There's no content into that xyz10 because we just now created. When this was created, exactly at the same time we have created that, and you can see it has sorted it 1 0 1 2 3 until 9. Basically it should start from 1 to 3 till 10, but yeah, it is sorting in a string manner. Don't consider it to be a numerical thing because by default it's a string, because it's a file name, it's a string, and it will sort it in such a manner that according to the string purpose. So xyz, so everywhere xyz, so it's listed properly. then we are having 1 1, there's a conflict over here, so we are having an extra 0 over here, so that would be considered first. Then we are having this one, then naturally according to the numerical it will sort everything. Okay, nice. I'm having so many files now, but one thing, I can open these files like with using the GUI, and I can just store something like as we do in Notepad, Control S, or you're having the button over here, save it. As of now I'm saving it in XYZ4. Fine, let me open the terminal back and let me execute the same command again, and I hope the XYZ4 changes. From 0 it has changed to 13. Okay, let's not go on to what exactly this 13 is, but I want to show one thing. The one method was actually go and open that folder using the GUI, but I want to try something else. So if I want to try everything using the terminal itself, then what's the command for that? So for that, we are having a lot of kind of editors, but for like very basic stuff, I really love Nano. There's a Vim also, which is quite very advanced, but I don't want to use that. I'll use Nano. What is this Nano? It's a kind of text editor inside our terminal. Normally we are having the text editor like our Notepad using the GUI. You can just double click and open that. But if you want to open that from your Ubuntu machine, from the terminal, you can use the Nano. So I'll write Nano data 4. I guess it was data. Okay, it was XYZ. XYZ 4.py. And you can see the terminal related editor is open, and yeah, this was my data. So let me remove this all the stuff and let me write some proper text. This is a simple lorem text. I'll save this. To save this, I'm having some options. You can see Control Z for help, Control O to write out. If I want to find something, then where is cut paste, we are having K and U. If I want to execute something, we can use that. Justify, so many other stuffs are there. But yeah, let me use Control O. I want to write now. So it's asking file name to write. But I just want to use the same file. I don't want to create a new file and store the content of this xyz4.py into that new file. But yeah, I want to use the same thing. I'll just press enter. Writing and wrote one line. So I guess this is saved now. I need to come out now. I need to quit this text editor, which was terminal based text editor. I need to quit this and I need to come out. So to come out, I'm having, like you can see by default it's written here. To quit or to exit, I need to use Control X. So let me press Control X. Again, I'm back. So let's actually cross verify whether whatever things we have written is actually stored in that particular file or not. So let me use ls-al. It was 13. Now again the file size has increased, so for sure there might be some changes. Let me actually open this. You can see by default it's now converted to xyz4.py and it's having the Python logos, just that we have used that particular Nano terminal based editor. It started recognizing the file also. By default these are also Python files, but yeah, you can see this is the icon is very different. So let me just click. I don't want to open this because I just like, okay, as of now it is not having the permission to execute because I have not used the command called chmod. So even if I just double click, it will open, and whatever the things I had written, it's being written over here properly without any problem. So I guess our touch command is working, and none. That's simplest and best for if you want to work with very simple codes. If you want to modify something, I really love this man. Naturally, people who are using Raspberry Pis, majority of the stuffs I guess you will be writing in the system itself, and you just need to put the files into your Raspberry Pi and then use that. So for such things or for small configurations, I prefer Nano. Even though we are having the Vim is kind of good, but naturally I'm not doing so much of hard related stuffs in my Ubuntu directly, and if I want to do, then for sure I'll be using VS Code and I'll be doing that. Otherwise, I'll be working in my Windows systems or my other systems. There I'll create the complete folder directory or folder structures, everything I'll create, and then I will shift that to my Raspberry Pi or to my Ubuntu or anything. Fine. So let's go to the next command. Oh, there was a small break. Let's continue back. So the next command, let's discuss something related to echo. So echo is a kind of display statement which we are having in our terminal, or you can consider the bash. What's bash? Don't worry, again we will discuss that. So if I write echo Shravan, it's my name, it will display my name. If I just write echo Shravan, again it's displaying. So this echo, it just echoes in the sense whatever I say, it just prints back. So I'll say this echo is kind of a statement which actually displays something, and what it displays, that we need to mention it. Naturally, we need to mention it, then only it will echo the particular thing. What if I just write echo? Nothing. I have a space, I'll remove that also. So yeah, nothing. So naturally it's not able to echo anything because I have not given any informations or anything I have given. So naturally it will just give us, it will create a kind of blank space. Fine. So let's try something else, because echo, there's nothing much to discuss over here. Just whatever the things you write, we can directly do that. Or let me tell you one interesting thing. Let me use something like var equal to Shravan. I'm trying to create a variable and I'm having the content Shravan stored into a variable. And if I want to display, I'll just display it like this. You can see it's still working. So I have stored it here and I'm just printing them. What's this? Var equal to Shravan and $var. Don't worry about this. This we will discuss at the complete end. I guess we have already discussed in the live classes, but yeah, we will discuss this at the complete end in the bash scripting. But as of now, you can just consider only this much. Echo will just print the statement. Okay, so now we were able to echo something. We were able to echo whatever things we have written. We were able to store it in some variable and actually use that variable. We have done that. So what if I want to access, or what if I want to print what's there in a particular file? I'm not asking about the folder. For like just checking what's inside a folder, we can use directly ls. But if I want to check what's there in that particular xyz.py, if I want to do that, then naturally we need to open a nano. We need to open a nano editor, then we need to check. After that, once we check, we can press Ctrl X, we can quit. But there's a command, cat. Cat stands for maybe concatenation, might be, but yeah. Instead of actually directly starting this, let's open its manual and try. You can see, name the cat, like the name is cat, and it concatenate files and print on the standard output. So if I don't provide much of information to this, it just prints the things on this my terminal. And yeah, naturally you can see it's having so many arguments, and they have given examples. Cat f minus g. Output f's content. Let's say f is a file. Then standard input. Then g is content. We will try this all. So many stuffs are there, but let me quit. Let me print everything. I guess we had some content in this xyz4.py. So let's confirm this. I'm not sure. It worked out actually. Yeah, it was xyz, because you can see the number is changed. So we are having some content in that. I'll write cat xyz4.py, and you can see the content inside xyz4.py. I'm able to clearly see it. Okay, fine. I can see one, but let me actually go and write some content into the next folder, maybe xyz3. Here I'll write, this is another lorem text. I'll just save it manually, Control S, and let me open back the terminal. And if I write cat xyz 3. It's printing that. Let me try something. XYZ 3, comma. Okay, I need to write the extensions also, comma. Okay, I'll try to remove the comma also as of now. XYZ 4 dot py. You can see cat, the first file, this is another lorem text, and the next command, or you can just say this was another input. It's printing the content of that. So let's try to put the comma in between. Let's see what will happen if I put a comma. You can see xyz3 dot py comma. That py comma is considered as a file. So let me give a simple space in here. You can see till here as it is, it's printing. This is another lorem text, cat comma. So there is nothing called comma, there is no file, so it's giving an error or a warning. And after that we are having xyz4.py, and naturally it's working. I hope you can understand now that you should not give a comma in between. You just need to separate it with some space, and you need to have an extension. So let's try to remove the extension also. I'll remove everything. I'll just write here. You can see. I guess now you can see cat xyz3, no such file or directory because I have not given the extensions. Let me clear everything now because we are discussing the cat. We will just continue with the cat others or stuffs. I'll just run this xyz3.py. I'll again go for this particular statement and I'll remove this error. Now it's printing correct, but I'm quite confused now. So I'll tell why. I'll create the confusion. Intentionally I'll create the confusion. Okay, this is my file. I'll get into this, but this is a line in file. Let me write intentionally. I'll write file. I'm in xyz3.py, but this line is this is a line in file xyz4.py. So even I'm in this file, I'm intentionally writing this. So it doesn't make any sense, but yeah, let's go here and let's execute the same thing. You can see first I'm trying to print xyz3.py. If you see this, I guess if the user don't know, then for sure he will consider this is the content of xyz4.py. We need to remove this kind of confusions. So for that, what I can do the maximum minus n. I hope you can try to understand this. There's another lorem text in the second line. This is a line in file xyz4.py, and in the third line this is a lorem text. So now I need to differentiate. Now I need to check how in which file what's the content, how much is there, that I need to see now. For that we have something like, I'm just gonna complicate over here, but yeah, don't worry. This might be little complicated for a common user, but yeah, just no need to worry. I'll just explain. I'll write like this. Inside that I'll write our cat command. I'll use this particular thing. No need to worry about this again. I'll write echo. I hope you know echo. I'll write something like maybe file1. Okay, and outside here I'll write I guess it was xyz4 dot py. Okay, I need to write dot py. Fine, till here it's correct. I'll write another here and I'll write echo. I'll write file2, and outside here I'll write I guess it was xyz3 dot py. Fine, here I'll use this symbol, pipe symbol, and I'll write cat minus n. So let's see. We are intentionally making it more complicated, but yeah, let's see the output. Let me just bring it little up. You can see how it's getting printed. Just go through this once. I guess you will be able to understand. So I'll just explain. Our file one, the thing which we actually echoed, it's acting as a distinguisher. This is a simple lorem text. Then we are having the file two, and then whatever the stuff we add in the file two. I hope till here it's clear. Naturally, to write commands like this, a small experience is required. There's nothing complicated in this. I'm just concatenating everything. Okay, I'm just the content in the files, the content which I've given manually. I'm just concatenating everything. Fine. Then naturally, what's the use of this pipe getting the input from the previous command and pushing it to the next? We can discuss that little later. But as of now, just clear everything and let's go to the next simple commands because we are just discussing basics as of now. Okay. Before actually going to the next command, yes, I have missed one small thing. That is cat inside the cat. Okay, this is a kind of edit. There might be slight sound difference. I had missed this. I'll just explain this properly. For example, I'm having some contents in xyz 3.5. This was the content. Okay, fine. Now I need to move this content into the new folder, new file. Let's check what's there in um, here. xyz2.py, it's completely empty. There's nothing in that. I want to move the content of xyz3.py to xyz2.py. I just need to move this. So for this, again, our cat command will help. So how it will help? Let's just check xyz3.py, move the content to this particular folder, the file. Okay, executed. No worries. Let me again check. You can see initially xyz2.py had no content, but as soon as I moved the content, I have moved the content using this and cat command. From whatever things was there in xyz3.py, I have just moved it to 2, and when I again try to print, the same thing we are getting. So it just means that I have copied content of a file to another file. So you can use this one. It's quite useful when you're just trying to use the logs and other related stuffs. Fine, I guess this was a kind of quick edit. We'll just continue from here. Using touch command, we now know how to create a file. And using cat command, we know how to play with the informations inside that. And using the command nano, we know how to enter into that command from the terminal. I'm talking in perspective of terminal. But as of now, we have not yet discussed how to create a folder. Naturally, we can't use a touch command for creating our folder. For creating our folder, I'm having a command mk, that's make dir. Before we actually execute this, I'm not sure what's the thing we need to do. So I'll just use the manual mkdir make directories. This is quite common. How to use this? Make some options and directory. So let's try. -m is mode, parent, a lot of stuff. Is there any example? They might have given examples. If not, then no worries, we'll try. What I'll do, mkdir, I'm in the desktop, and in desktop I will create a test and I enter it. So I'll try to list. You can see these are all stuffs. These are files because they're having the extensions. And you can see our test as a folder is also created over here. Let's actually cross verify. Among these all folders, files, I'm having this folder. We had this practice folder by default. I'm having this test now. Inside this test folder is empty. So to create a folder, we are having mkdir. So as we did for the touch, we had did for something for touch, something like this. 1, 2, 10. We have done something like this. Let's try this. Okay, nice. It's working. It's working. So let's actually cross verify. You can see so many folders have been created just using one command. So yeah, the same thing is working. So let's try something else. I'll write maybe some new file data, and instead of this I will try data 1, 2, 3. Let's say 310. Even this is working. Let's check. Let me search. Oh, okay, fine. All are here. So yeah, you can create folders however you want. You can create files however you want. As of now, I'll just delete everything. I don't need this all stuff. Let me delete here because I need that practice folder. That's why I'm doing this. There's no scientific results behind this. Thanks. As I have deleted manually, I have deleted all the folders manually. Naturally, you might be thinking how to actually delete it from the terminal. So for that, when we are having mk for make and dir stands for directory, naturally I was trying to make a directory. To remove a directory, then naturally I need to have something rmdir. So let's check if I'm having something related to rmdir. So if I just open this, you can see rmdir remove empty directories. You need to stress on this empty directories. It should be empty. If it's not empty, then it will not permit us. Naturally, we are having some techniques, recursive force. We can actually delete the directories which are not empty, but by default, it's not permitted. Okay, by default, they didn't give much over here. So let me quit and let me create a file, make directory, and I will write data. So let me check, and you can see this data is there, which is empty because I just now I created that. For sure, it would be empty. So let me remove that. I'll use rm, remove that directory. Which directory? Data. I guess quite worked. Let me check, and you can see it's not there now. So using rmdir, I'm able to remove the directories. So let's try again. I'll make that rm like I'll make that directory as a data. I'll go into that. Okay, I'll create a file here. Touch maybe file.txt. I have created. Let me cross verify. It's there inside this data. I'll come back. I'm into the desktop. I will try. The data folder is there. Inside the data folder, the file.txt is there. So let me try removing directory now. rmdir data. You can see removing the directory. This rmdir failed to remove this particular data as a folder because this directory was not empty because I'm having the file, this file.txt. I'm having this file. Considering the security measures or safety considerations, directly we can't remove. We should not remove also, but yeah, it's just giving an warning. If I want to remove, then there's some different techniques, but as of by default, it will not permit me. So yeah, the first thing I need to go inside that data folder. I need to remove that particular file. How to remove a particular file? I'm not talking about the folder. For removing the folder, I'm having rmdir. How to remove a file? So let's check on that. So I'll just get into the data folder. Fine. Let me just cross verify. The file is there. I'll use instead of rmdir. Dir stands for directory, but I'm not using directory. I'll just use rm. I'm just using rm and I'll write file.txt. I guess it worked. Let me check. See, nothing is getting printed. It just means that nothing is there. So let me clear everything. I'll go back again and let me yeah, just let me try to remove this. And now it's successfully removed. The data folder is removed because I went inside this. I used the command rm to remove that particular file and I removed that. Let me again create that particular data folder. I guess again it's back. It's back. Let me try rm data. Naturally, as of now it's empty. You can see cannot remove data. It's a directory, or it's kind of asking, or it's saying is a directory. This data is a directory, or it's asking is it a directory. So naturally rm cannot be used to remove a directory, but yeah, we can use rm for removing the files. So let me again make dir data. I'm again making this. Okay, where I have created. Okay, I guess it's already exists because here it didn't remove. I'll just go into that. Fine. I'll again create a folder. I mean the file. Maybe file dot py. Oh, it became dial, no problem. I guess it won't be much of issues. Let me check. It's there. Till here there's no problem. I'll come back. Now let me again try to remove rm dir data. It will not permit me. What if I'm trying to enter into folder, this particular data folder, and remove recursively. I mean, I'll take one folder, I file, I'll delete that. Next file I'll take, delete that. So if I keep doing that, will I be able to delete? So let's try rm minus r, then I'll use data. Something happened, it's not giving an error. So let's check if data is there. Data is also not there. Just by adding this minus r, it's kind of recursive. It went into the data, it removed all the files, and at the end it removed that folder also. So it's not mandatory, as I was mentioning. By default we might not, but yeah, there are some things which, like, if you use that, for sure we will be able to do some jugadu stuff. Now, as we know a lot of stuffs, we know how to print something, we know how to list the storage, we know how to open a terminal, we know how to open an editor, we know how to create the files, we know how to create folders, we know how to remove files, we know how to remove folders. So let's try to do something related to the actual thing which we need to do. So I'm in the desktop. Let's try what's there. There's nothing. Is as it is. Okay, I'll create a folder, touch, maybe data.py. It's a file, it's not a folder, it's a file. So it's created. Let's cross verify. You can see it's file. So let's actually go and check here. It's kind of text file but with an kind of name .py. So what I'll do, I'll have a command chmod plus x. No need to worry about this. Use chmod plus x. I'll use data.py. Nothing happened. Let's actually print it. You can see as of now the data was in white color. As of now, just using this chmod plus x, the color changed in the terminal. So let's actually go and check how it's happening over here. There's no change, it's as it is. Fine, we don't need to worry about that. So let me actually check ls minus al. Now we can check. There is our data.py, it's here. rwx, rx. So I'll create one more file for kind of comparison. Data, okay, no worries, whatever it might be. You can clearly compare here. rw, and naturally here also w was not there, here also w is not there, but you can see this extra x was added as soon as I use the command chmod. If I just use chmod, this extra x was added, and this x stands for executable. So this makes our data.py an actual executable file. So let me just close this. Now if we are having this data.py, it will open here. If I write all the contents, like whatever my Python program is there, I can actually use this as a kind of Python file, not as a just normal text file. So that's the use of using chmod. Naturally, instead of plus x, we are having so many other stuffs that let's not discuss as of now, because kind of basics. Let's stick with basics. But yeah, in notes or in future we will discuss on that. Okay, to add on with chmod, we are also having a command, I guess chown, change own owner, change ownership. So basically, like, let's assume we are having the user 1, then we are having the user 2 in the same system. For example, in Windows you might have administrator and the student account. In your college you might have seen that administrator and student account. Similarly, in Linux also we might have user 1 and user 2, named administrator 1 and the user 2 as a student. Not a problem. And naturally we are having the root file with respect to administrator. and I want to change the ownership of this particular xyz.py from user1 to user2, then naturally I need to change the ownership. I might have it for myself also, and I might give it for the root user also, so that everyone can use it. So with respect to that, I'm having something called chowm. Let's actually check that. I'll not be explaining this because naturally I have just a single user, so maybe I'll not be able to explain it properly, but let's just go through this. Change file owner and a group. Lot of descriptions, lot of arguments of the subcommands. Oh, they have given example also, you can see. Change the owner of this particular directory to the root. So root user will be having all the access. Root colon staff. So they have trying to change the groups. Lot of stuff. Actually, I will not be able to explain this because I am having a single user. To create a user, to delete a user, we are having again different commands. But naturally, as we are into a virtual machine, I just don't want to do that. Naturally, that's not a important thing also. Let's not get into that. Okay, now we will just quickly try some commands. For example, as I was talking about users, root, and so many stuffs, first I need to who am I? So let me try that. Who am I? And it's giving me my name. Like, okay, I have named it code, so it's giving me code. I have named the user one as code, so there's only one user. So as I'm asking about myself, it is giving me who am I. Okay, fine. I just want to exit this terminal, so I can use exit, and it's gone. I'll again open this. Fine. I actually don't want to exit, but yeah, I just wanted to show that exit command. So if I just write exit, I'll exit. What is? I just want to check what is. Let's assume like I want a short description of ls. If I just use man command, it will give me a very huge manual of that particular ls. But if I just write what is ls, it will just give me a very simple terms. ls is kind of list directory contents. So let's write what is man. Okay, there's two different definitions for man. One is macros to format man pages, might be something, I'm not sure. And interface to the system reference. Yeah, this is the actual man which we are used. Fine, let me try something. What is IP? So it is showing something. Let me try something. IP. Okay, fine. It's again showing the same thing. Address, okay, it's not detecting the address, nothing appropriate. Fine, no worries. But yeah, it is, I guess it's trying to show me IP show manipulate routing network IP protocol implementations. That's kind of correct. So let me try which ls. So naturally in our Linux systems, everything is kind of, everything is, you can assume it's called something. There's a concept FHS. This is the thing which Linux uses. File hierarchy systems, everything here is a kind of file. If you connect your USB drive, the pen drive, it will be considered as a file. You connect a camera, again it will be considered as a file. Everything here is a file. So naturally the ls should also be stored as a file, and it's stored in this, in our root user usr, in binary, in ls. So let's cross verify it. Let me go to that folder. I'll open the home. Let me check that particular usr. I guess it's not here because we are already into the home. So let me find something wherein I can actually go to it. Okay, I guess me directly go from the terminal itself because it's quite fast. One step back, another step back. I'm into the home. Okay, it's able to display me the code related cd dot dot. Let me go one more step back. Let me display everything. Here I'm having, I guess, the usr. So let me go into the usr. Cd usr. Inside this, might I have so many stuffs. Nice, I'm having only few stuff, but as of I remember, it was showing inside user I'm having a file called bin. Bin means binary. So let me cross verify. Yeah, it's there. So let me jump into binary. I'm into the binary. You can just cross verify from here. I'm inside the user, inside this binary. Let me just print everything over here. Before that, I'll just remove and print. So many stuff. All alphabetically, but yeah, so many different stuff are there. Maybe they, oh yeah, fine. Which, where, what is, wget, who am I, who, these all commands we are just using. Everything is stored in this one. So can I say just like I guess I can say those. These are all commands Linux is having, and if I try to modify them, we are having touch here. If I try to modify them, I guess I might modify the complete Linux also. So superuser sudo superuser do. It's I guess it's pretty marked, maybe blocked because naturally we will discuss sudo little later. Oh, we are having something called sleep. Let's try that. Let me quickly go to ls. Fine, it's not permitting me to go further beyond this r. It's stored alphabetically, I guess. It's there, ls is there because we were able to see these all statements. Then naturally I guess ls is also kind of stuck. So let me actually go back. I'm into this one. Let me check. Let me go into the home. In my home, I guess I need to have only one user, that is code. So let me jump into the code. In code, I need to have all my files. Fine. I need to jump into desktop. Let's operate in desktop itself to keep everything safe and to keep everything clean. In ls, we are having this much. Fine. We have discussed so many stuff. Okay, let me check sleep because we just now seen that sleep for 5 seconds. The next command, it's not showing over here. Let's wait for 5 seconds. Now it's showing. So just if I give this sleep for 5, it's immediately it's not coming. It's waiting for 5 seconds. Then only this next command. It's expecting the next command. So let's try for maybe 7 seconds. Let's actually count this. 6, 7, and it should come. Fine. Maybe I have made some 1 or 2 second mistake, but yeah, it's working fine. Sleep is also one of command. I'm not sure where to use this, but yeah, you can use that. Okay, I guess we have come a long way. So let's try to understand few different kind of command. Let me clear the screen. I'll tell about that. Before I actually jump into that, there's a command called wget. So let's try to understand its reference manual. wget is a non-interactive network downloader. So it's a kind of downloader. I might download anything, and it's non-interactive. I'll not be able to interact with that. That's fine. So let's check what are the options. Minus r is there, minus try is equal to something, and then we are having the URL. Minus d, minus r, minus c, minus o. Nice. Oh, okay, I can execute in the background also using minus b. They are having different versions also, so it might be important for us. Show no verbose. Okay, verbose means whatever the text that would be printing while downloading. That's called verbose. So many stuffs. Fine. We'll ignore everything. I'll just press Q and let's do our own thing. So let me clear everything and let's go to here. This is Mozilla, like it's almost similar to our Chrome. And let me open a GitHub of maybe like I'm using DroneKit now these days. So I'll use DroneKit GitHub. I'll open this. I just want to download this naturally. If I know URL, that would be fine. I'll copy the URL of this. I have copied and let me close that. Wget, and I need to paste my link here. I hope till here it might be clear what the output might be. Fine, let me actually cross verify. As of now, you can see there's home here. These files, let me remove this, we don't need them anymore. And we are having our practice. So let me just give enter for this. Something is happening and it's done. So let's go back and check. I'm having the master.zip. It's in a zip format. Naturally, GitHub gives in a zip format. Let's open this, and inside this, I'm having complete drone kit. It's a library for handling the drone related. So, but yeah, that was not our thing. But using terminal, if I want to download anything in my system, then I can go for that particular wget. Let me remove this, delete. I don't want to name it master. That's the thing. That's fine if I want to name it as a master, but actually I want to give my own name to that so that I can actually remember this. So let me check if that works. Intentionally I'll create one mistake. I'll write -o and new file, or let me write actually it's drone kit dot zip. There's one intentional mistake over here that you will understand very shortly. As of now, you can see I have deleted that master. So if I enter here, something happened. Let me check. Here you can see dk.zip is also created, master.zip is also created. Inside master.zip, everything is there, fine. Inside dk.zip, an error occurred. That was an intentional mistake. Okay, I'll delete both of them again. Let me open this. That intentional mistake was, instead of having this O as a small, I'll have it as a capital. That was the simplest mistake. Let's try now. Something is happening. That's fine. It's saved. dk.zip is saved. Now I don't have the master. I am having dk.zip. Inside that, I'm having the normal drone kit. So if I want to download it with my own name, then for sure I can use -o. But yeah, I need to make sure that -o, the O is capital. Okay, again, let me remove this. Fine. What if I want to download multiple files? I'm trying to set up a new system. I'm having so many stuffs to download. Not one, not two, not three. I'm having so many libraries to set up in my new system. Maybe in my computer I have worked. I'm having around 10 libraries, and I want to now migrate to my Raspberry Pi. The actual project was for Raspberry Pi. I have built it in my computer. Now I want to go for Raspberry Pi. So again, going there, doing pip install, that might be a little irritating. That we can do, not a problem. Using requirement of txt, something like that, not an issue. But let's assume some different case. What I'll do, I'll create one file, touch urls dot txt. I guess you might have guessed this would be created. Here I'll paste all the links. So the first drone kit is created. Let me try something. PyMavLink will be by default installed. So let me try some different libraries instead of drone kit. Maybe let me try. Maybe PyMavLink. I'm having this. Let me copy this one also. I'll paste in this one. I'll paste it over here, no worries. You can paste it anywhere. But what I feel in this drone kit actually works on basis of on like PyMavLink is the base for that. So if I directly use drone kit, then it would be ignored by default, because naturally in this also we are having PyMavLink. So that's why I'm using PyMavLink much before. So let me download something else, maybe NumPy or something. I guess NumPy would be a little heavy. Let me try something. Let's not go for very complicated OpenSea or something. Mav SDK, if it's there. Okay, fine. I'm having Mav SDK. try to download the Python version of this. No worries, I'll download this one. Copy link. Let me paste it here. Fine. I'm having all these URLs in a text file, and now I want to download all of them in just one go. So what I'll do, first let me check if that file exists. urls.txt, it's there. W get -i from a folder, from a file, and that file is url ss.txt. Something is happening, let it happen for a time. I don't want to disturb as of now. Okay, it's done. And you can see downloaded 3 files, total 9 MB, maybe 10 MBs. And I guess this was the average download speed. Nice. Master zip 1 and 2. Let me open this. It is PyMavlink. Nice. Drone kit. Perfect. There should be a MavSDK. Perfect. So you can see like how we can download everything from a text file. This would be a kind of another kind of helpful tool or a way wherein we can actually download something. Let me wash everything, let me delete everything, and let me try something different. There's another way that we call as a curl. Curl can be used for sending the headers also. Curl can be used for downloading some lot of stuff. But it's quite complicated. It's quite indirect. So before actually starting with curl, let me actually get some link. I'll again copy this one, MavSDK itself. I'll copy this. Then we will try it here. Before that, let's actually understand what curl is. Man curl transfers a URL. So how to use this curl? Just pass the URL. Curl is a tool for transferring data from or to a server. So I can get the file, or I can push the file. This is very important. From my computer, I can push the file to server, and it supports these protocols. So many people have maybe like they know only this HTTP and HTTPS. Few people might know maybe MQTT related. Okay, it's not there. If anyone have worked with SMTP server for emailing and other things, they might know this. MQTT is here. It supports that. Maybe few people might know FTP, file transfer protocol. But you can see so many protocols are there. It might help you. RTMP maybe for video streaming and other things. Lot of stuffs are there. Okay, it will support so many protocols. Nice. URL they expect in this format: http://site.something.com. That's fine. And okay, I don't want to see output, I want to see the real output. And okay, they have given like every detailed explanation. Fine, I guess I can quit now, and let's actually try writing the curl. So as we know now that man, like the manual of curl, it explained a lot of things, that we can download the stuff, we can push the data from our system to some servers, we can actually use this for testing the APIs, we can send the headers and a lot of stuff. But yeah, curl is a very little difficult to use, so I don't want to recommend this. I don't want to recommend this method. But for example, let me just give a small example. If I just write curl robotics.com, it will show me the content of my robotics. You can see it's giving me the link. Naturally, I have not actually having the content in this. So if anyone visits robotics.com, they will be redirected to some different sites internally for some other things we have done. Fine. So let me just ignore this as of now. Let me actually go back to wget, and let me try something like -m. -m stands for mirror of something. Let me use robotics.com itself. I need to mention it properly. Something is happening. Let's wait. Let it wait to complete. 67 files, total 6. If you see here, okay, let me just delete these 2 files. These are not important. robotics.com as a folder, it's over here. Let me open this. Nice, I'm having all the things. Let me open index.html, and here comes my website. And it's not from the internet, you can see it's from my files in home code from desktop robotics.com. In that it is there. I'm having literally everything, all the images, everything, it just copied. Naturally this we had used some other stuffs, other links, whatever the things that was there in our server, it actually fetched everything. So let me close this. In images, it will just go and see everything from our logo to everything. It just downloaded everything. Even whatever the names we had given in the server, it is getting the same thing. The content of about, the images that were stored in about, the background related. So you can just mirror a complete website for your understanding purpose. If someone has uploaded something in GitHub, and if you want to download that and don't want to do much of stuff, or even you have uploaded by yourself and want to do something, then this is the command, mirror it. Let me try to mirror something called rosx.in, because I have redirected this. Even I have redirected this to some other website. So rosx.in is here. The thing is there because it's redirected. If I open this, you can see nothing is there. It is showing about RoboSX, but naturally it is not opening because I have redirected this. And there's no content in this particular hosting. If I just open this, let me open this from, no, I don't want to do this from the text editor. Actually, this is not important for you. I just want to show that there's nothing much in this. Everything, whatever thing is there, that's being redirected to RoboSX. I'll open this Mozilla and I'll show you. If I just go to rosx.in, it redirects to RoboSX. That's why the content of this it was able to find, because naturally the first redirection it was working. But once it reaches to this robosx.com, now we don't have access to that. So yeah, it was not able to download the stuff. I hope you're able to understand how to use this wget for mirroring. For mirroring, you just use -m. That's it. Okay, let me try something very nonsense. First, let me delete this. It might be nonsense, but yeah, you might feel nonsense as of now. Let me open a new terminal. Get it zoomed so that you can see it properly. Let me create a file, touch. Let me name something different, and txt. Let me check. Okay, this is there. This file is created. Let me actually open this. And let me try very nonsense. No need to worry, everything is nonsense. Let me save this and let me quit. Naturally, if I just do cat, let me remove the caps. It will show everything. It will actually print literally everything. But instead of cat, if I use, what if I use less? And if I use the same file name, still it is showing everything, but you can see not in just one go. It's expecting me to press enter so that it loads one by one. I hope you are able to understand here till here. And if I just want to exit from this, like consider it to be something related to Vim. There is something called WQ, QW, lot of stuffs. But yeah, let's actually exit from this. Fine, we are outside now. So let's try what's the head of that particular this file. What's the head of that? So this was the head. So let's find what's the tail of this. Okay, fine. This was the tail. So just try to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So last 9 items it's displaying here, and here also I guess you are able to assume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the 10th. If I just give head, top few data. If I give tail, the bottom few data. It is printing so that I can understand what's the starting and what's the end. There is nothing called middle. The head means it will display top, tail means it will display from the bottom. A little bit of data, not the complete data. If you use less, then you just need to keep on pressing some buttons so that you can keep on scrolling. For executing, you can press escape, you can press enter, then you can press WQ, then you will be out. Fine, I guess now we can go for one or two advanced commands. Let's directly go to the cron jobs. Cron means something which runs at the background. It keeps on repeating at whatever the time stamp we mention. For example, if you mention every minute, it will just keep on repeating exactly after every minute. If you mention it every hour, it will keep on repeating every hour. We can schedule it. We can schedule some task to do it again and again and again. That's called cron job. For cron job, to set a cron job, just what we need to do, cron tab minus E. If you just open this, okay, directly it might not open. For the first time if you are opening this, then it will ask something like whether you want to use BIM, Nano or something like that, and some numbers will be listed. You need to select that. For example, I highly prefer to use Nano. Fine, I highly prefer to use Nano. So just press whatever the number that's with Nano and press enter. You will be prompted to this one. So let me just go over here, and okay, this I've done a long back, so I'll use the same thing. I'll write star. Let me write star. 1 second. Star, then star, then star. I'll write 5 star, then echo. I need to echo Shravan. I need to push this into my home. Inside my home, there is a user called code. Inside the code, there's a desktop. We have already seen this. I need to make sure that I'm pronouncing, I'm spelling it very correctly. And then this, let me write test dot text. I guess this would be fine. So let me save this and enter 26 lines and come out. So installing new cron tab, fine, no worries. Let me actually check. There's nothing actually, no test file is being created. So let's wait for 1 minute. I'll just keep on checking because we don't know when that exact 1 minute comes. See, now that test.txt is already visible. So let me check what's there in that. Okay, it's displaying Shravan. So let's wait for another 1 minute, or let me open it manually so that you can see it properly. It's displaying Shravan one time. Let me close this and let's wait for another 1 minute and see what if it prints again after 1 minute. Then we can understand that the cron job is set and it's running at the background even if I close this terminal. So let me close this terminal also. If you feel that the terminal is running it at the backend, I'll close the terminal also. So let's see. Let's wait for 1 minute and check. I guess it might be 1 minute now. I'm not sure. Let's actually open this and check. Okay, it's executing twice. It has executed it twice. Maybe like as soon as before I close the terminal, it has printed that. Let's wait for 1 more minute just to cross confirm. But as of now, I'll open a new terminal. I'll just open a new terminal. Let me zoom into this so that you can see it properly. I guess when we started recording this video, you had seen one file called bashrc. So let's go to that file and let's do some nonsense stuff. It was somewhere here, I guess. Let's check. You can see bashrc is over here. So let's actually open that. So to open that, I'll use nano. Fine. From this one, I need to open bash rc. Nice. I have this bash rc file open. No need to worry about this all the stuff. No need to worry. So what I'll do, there's some alias that's being written, CLS for clear and other things. This might not be there. This is something which I have given by myself. I'll write fine. What I've done, I went into bash rc file. There was so many commands. I just ignore everything. Okay. And in that particular thing, I had given one alias. Alias stands for alternate name for something. Let's assume I want to do a command. I don't want to execute a command and it's very long and I need it on a repeating purpose. For example, if I'm doing something related to ROS, I need to row source my lot of stuff. I don't want to do it again and again. If you are working with Raspberry Pi, if you want to execute something in Raspberry Pi 5, you need to create a virtual environment. To start a virtual environment, then you need to source. Okay, I guess you're not understanding the word source. When we start scripting related stuff, you'll understand that. The bash scripting, you will understand that. But yeah, we need to source a lot of stuff. We need to activate our virtual environment. So let's ignore that and let me actually type Shravan here. Okay, it's saying Shravan command is not found. So let's go back and check what's the problem. I guess I had written it somewhere here. Let me actually change the command. I guess I have given a lot of commands over there. Okay, fine. I guess let me just close this. Let me restart the terminal because just now I have modified that. I guess I need to restart my terminal once. Let me restart. Let me make it big. Then let me type the command again. Fine, now it's showing this. Fine, let's check what's this. Fine, that's the same thing which is getting displayed here because I have just given echo this. This is alias. Let me just write again. I'll write it and I close it. Fine, I'll just restart the terminal. So every time I open my terminal, that .bash rc file would be by default executed. You just need to remember that. Every time I open my terminal, that file would be executed. So if I'm trying to modify that file, naturally I have already opened my terminal, so it won't execute. So that's why it was not able to remember that. So if I just close the terminal and if I open a new terminal, the first thing what it does is go to bash rc file and execute whatever stuff that's written on that and it will make ready. So let me actually write the command, which actually not a standard command, but I have given an alias. And you can see Shravan, this is an alias because I have just given it to echo the same thing. Echo is a command and what it need to echo, this is an alias. That's what it's doing. I hope you can understand this much. Fine. Along with this, we are having something called IP address, which I guess is very difficult for us to explain from the virtual environment. That I will explain once I switch back to my real Ubuntu system. That there would be a separate video like related to the network stuff. But yeah, you can just check IP address. It will display the IP address. Let's try ifconfig. So even this is displaying in a more pretty manner. Naturally, you are seeing this yellow, no need to worry. In real systems, it might be something like LAN 0, ETH 0, LAN 1 if you are using some external routers, or, router external USB dongles or something like that, Wi-Fi dongles. It would be saying LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 0, ETH 0. So many steps it would be showing. I'll show that in the real environment.